That gentle bottle sitting in your bathroom right now is not what it used to be. I spent 3 weeks tracking exactly when major American gentle and sensitive brands changed ownership, changed formulas, and quietly changed what that word actually means on the label. And based on what I found, a lot of people who trust those labels for their kids, their skin, and their health are not going to like this video. 1. The baby wash betrayal. The first brand on this list is the one that has probably been in your family the longest. A classic American baby wash that promises to be gentle enough for newborns. The founding story is almost heartbreakingly sincere. In the early 1950s, a small team of chemists and pediatric advisors in the Northeast developed a simple, mild cleanser designed specifically for hospital nurseries. With one goal, keep it as close to plain water and simple soap as possible. Originally, the formula relied on straightforward soap-based surfactants, minimal fragrance, and no dyes, and it was marketed almost exclusively through pediatric offices and maternity wards before it ever hit retail shelves. That changed when a major consumer products corporation, best known for everything from household disinfectants to industrial cleaners, acquired the brand in the late 1980s as part of a strategy to expand into trust-based health products. Companies that make bleach, detergents, and disinfectant wipes do not acquire beloved baby brands because they love Bobby. They acquire them because they understand that gentle is one of the most powerful words on a package, and they know parents will pay for it without digging into the actual chemistry. Once the brand moved under that corporate umbrella, the ingredient list began to evolve. What was once a short list built around simple soap shifted to a cocktail of synthetic surfactants like sodium lauryl sulfate, cocamidopropyl-betaine, and PEG-based emulsifiers. Fragrance components multiplied, and the label began to include preservatives such as phenoxyethanol and various parabens, along with natural fragrance, a legally vague phrase that can hide a mixture of dozens of compounds. Ingredient by ingredient, here's what that means in plain language. Sodium lauryl sulfate is a common foaming agent that strips oils efficiently, great for dishes and laundry, less great for a fragile skin barrier that's still forming in infancy. Cocamidopropyl-betaine, derived from coconut oil but processed with synthetic chemicals, has been associated with contact dermatitis and was flagged in patch test studies as a common cause of irritation in sensitive skin products. Phenoxyethanol is widely used, but the European Scientific Committee on Consumer Safety has set strict concentration limits for products used on infant skin because of concerns about systemic absorption. The FDA allows the term hypoallergenic on cosmetic labels without a universal, legally binding definition, which means brands can call a product gentle or sensitive and still include known irritants as long as they can argue that reactions are relatively rare. The American Academy of Dermatology and the American Contact Dermatitis Society, however, both recommend limiting exposure to potential sensitizers like certain surfactants and fragrances in people with eczema, rosacea, or a weakened skin barrier. Here's what this looks like in your everyday life. If you've noticed that your own hands feel tight or itchy after bathing a grandchild or washing your face with that same baby cleanser, you are not imagining it. You probably blamed the dry winter air or your age. Maybe you tried a heavier lotion, but the problem is often the wash itself, a product that now behaves more like a mainstream body wash than the ultra-mild formula it was originally designed to be. For families who use this brand across generations, this is a generational betrayal. The name, the color, the scent, they're all engineered to trigger nostalgia and trust, while the actual chemistry has quietly moved closer to the same aggressive detergents used in regular body washes. In plain language, they see customers who buy based on trust, not on ingredient literacy, and they have reformulated accordingly. 2. The sensitive laundry deception. Next, we move from the bathroom to your laundry room. The second brand built its reputation on being the safe choice for people with eczema, allergy-prone kids, and anyone who couldn't tolerate regular detergent. It started in the late 1960s as a small Midwestern company producing a low-residue powder designed specifically for dermatology clinics and allergy practices. The original mission was very clear: strip fabrics of soils with minimal leftover surfactant and no added dyes or heavy fragrance. By the early 2000s, that company was acquired by a multinational conglomerate known for its regular blue bottle detergent, dish soap, and surface cleaners. Again, household detergent companies do not acquire niche, sensitive brands because they love fragile skin. They acquire them because they know there is a premium price attached to fear of rashes, fear of reactions, and they can sell that fear in the form of a higher margin product. Today, when you pick up a free and clear or sensitive skin detergent from this brand, you'll likely see ingredients including linear alkylbenzene sulfonate, alcohol ethoxylates, and brightening agents like disodium disulfonate, stilbene derivatives. Linear alkylbenzene sulfonate is a powerful surfactant that binds to oils and proteins, designed to remove stubborn stains, but it can leave residues that irritate compromised skin barriers. Optical brighteners are chemical compounds that deposit on fibers and absorb UV light to make whites appear cleaner and brighter, but they persist in fabric and have been flagged in allergy literature as potential triggers for contact dermatitis. The American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, Immunology notes that laundry products can contribute to skin irritation even when labels claim hypoallergenic, especially when fragrance and optical brighteners are present. The FDA classifies most laundry products as household cleaners, not drugs, which means the burden of proving gentleness falls largely on marketing, not on binding regulatory definitions. In your daily life, that shows up as t-shirts that feel scratchy after washing, pillowcases that make your cheeks itch, and kids who complain their pajamas hurt, even though they're brand new. You changed water temperature, you tried shorter cycles, you blamed your washing machine's age. The problem was the sensitive detergent that quietly kept the same core surfactants as the regular version while changing the scent and the label. Emotionally, this is a betrayal of trust built on fear. People who buy this brand are often dealing with real medical conditions: eczema, psoriasis, post-surgical sensitivity. The company positioned itself as their protector, then gradually reintroduced the same irritants like brighteners and complex surfactants under a free and clear umbrella that sounds safer than it is. 3. The dermatologist recommended facial cleanser shift. Our third brand lives at eye level in American drugstores, with a tagline built around dermatologist recommended and non-irritating for sensitive skin. It began in the late 1980s as a collaboration between a small pharmaceutical startup and dermatology researchers who wanted a cleanser that would remove oil without stripping the stratum corneum. The original formula used a balanced mix of mild surfactants and was intentionally low foaming, marketed through dermatologist sample programs before it ever became a direct-to-consumer product. In the early 2000s, the brand was acquired by a large European skincare corporation with a global portfolio that includes sunscreens, anti-aging creams, and makeup. Skincare conglomerates do not acquire niche clinical brands because they care about your individual rosacea flare-ups. They acquire them because they want credibility, the words dermatologist recommended, and sensitive skin next to a logo they already plan to plaster across half the drugstore aisle. Over time, ingredient lists shifted. Newer variations of this gentle cleanser include synthetic polymers for texture, expanded fragrance components in some regional versions, and a longer list of PEG-based emulsifiers and foaming agents. Compounds like sodium lauryl sarcosinate and cocamidopropylbutane make the cleanser feel silkier and more luxurious, but they increase the potential for irritation in people with compromised barriers. The American Academy of Dermatology advises patients with rosacea or eczema to avoid products with fragrance and certain foaming agents, even when the label claims gentle, and patch test studies published in journals connected to the American Contact Dermatitis Society have repeatedly flagged cocamidopropylbutane and related surfactants as common triggers. In your bathroom, that shows up as a cleanser that used to feel like water now stinging when you rinse. You might have thought, my skin is getting more sensitive with age, so you cut back on actives like retinol or vitamin C, when the real change was something you never suspected: the gentle cleanser reformulated with more complex chemicals. This is nostalgia exploitation with a lab. They kept the same bottle shape, same color palette, same medical-sounding language, but under the hood, the formula has slowly crept toward mainstream cosmetic cleansers that prioritize feel and foam over true minimalism. In plain language, they know you trust your dermatologist's past recommendation and assume the product sitting in your shower in 2026 is the same as the one you were given as a sample in 2005. It is not for the gentle body wash with heavy fragrance. The fourth brand is a national body wash line that started life in the early 1990s as a simple bar soap alternative for people who found traditional soap too drying. Founded by a small team of formulators on the West Coast, the original mission was modest: use milder surfactants than classic soap and minimize fragrance while adding humectants such as glycerin. By the late 2000s, large acquisitions rolled through the personal care market, and this body wash brand was absorbed into a multinational corporation that owns everything from shampoo to deodorant to dishwashing liquid. Personal care conglomerates do not buy gentle body wash brands because they want your family to have fewer rashes. They buy them because those brands can be stretched into dozens of sublines: gentle, renewing, age-defying, all sharing one manufacturing base. Modern ingredient lists for this brand's gentle lines are long. You'll see sodium lauryl sulfate, cocamidopropylbutane, glycol distarate for pearlescent texture, synthetic polymers like acrylates copolymer for thickness, and an extensive fragrance parfum section that can legally represent hundreds of hidden components. Preservatives such as methylisothiazolinone and methylchloroisothiazolinone have appeared in many mass-market body washes historically, and these have been associated with increased rates of allergic contact dermatitis, to the point that European regulators heavily restricted their use in leave-on products. American regulatory frameworks allow fragrance to remain a trade secret, and the FDA does not require companies to list every fragrance compound individually, which means a gentle body wash can legally hide a complex mixture behind that single word. The American Academy of Dermatology identifies fragrance as one of the top causes of contact dermatitis in personal care products. In practice, you experience this as that familiar, fresh smell that lingers on your skin and towels long after you shower. You blamed your age when your arms began to itch at night, or you switched laundry detergents, but the culprit may be the highly fragranced, gentle wash you use every morning. A product whose ingredient list now looks more like a mainstream perfume-heavy body wash than the almost clinical formula you remember. This is a cultural betrayal. This body wash advertised itself into American bathrooms as the kind alternative to harsh soap, especially for people who grew up with cracked knuckles from strong bars. Yet as it got popular, the formula drifted toward more fragrance, more texture agents, more aesthetic additives, all while keeping the word gentle right on the front. 5. The sensitive feminine care brand drift. The fifth bad brand lives in a more private part of your life. Feminine hygiene and intimate care marketed as pH balanced, gynecologist tested, and for sensitive areas. This brand started in the late 1970s as a niche product developed in cooperation with gynecologists, using a very mild surfactant system and minimal fragrance with a clear message: do not disrupt the natural microbiome and pH. Over the years, it was acquired and folded into a large personal care portfolio owned by a corporation known for everything from tampons to pads to shaving products. Large hygiene companies do not expand sensitive, intimate care lines because they want you to use fewer products. They do it because they see an opportunity, fear around odor, fear around cleanliness, and they can sell multiple specialized washes, wipes, and sprays under one trusted brand name. Modern ingredient lists for these sensitive washes often include sodium lauryl sulfate, cocamidopropylbutane, multiple fragrance compounds, and preservatives like methylparaben, propylparaben, or phenoxyethanol. Sodium lauryl sulfate and similar surfactants can remove lipids and disrupt mucosal tissue, while fragrance compounds and preservatives can contribute to irritation in areas of the body that are naturally more permeable. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists and many gynecologic guidelines advise that most people do not need specialized scented washes for intimate areas, and that over-cleansing with aggressive surfactants can disrupt the normal flora, potentially contributing to irritation or imbalance. Yet the marketing for these products leans heavily on pH balancing language, even when they include ingredients known to be irritants in patch test studies. In your life, this often shows up as burning or itching after using a new gentle wash, or recurring dryness that you blame on hormonal changes alone. You might have switched brands within the same sensitive category, never suspecting that the entire category now shares similar surfactants and fragrances because they're all owned by the same corporate parent. 6. A truly minimalist baby wash. The first Safe brand is a baby wash from a small, family-owned company that built its entire identity on short ingredient lists and transparent sourcing. The founders, a couple based in the Pacific Northwest, started the brand in the early 2000s after their own child developed eczema, and they couldn't find a baby wash without synthetic fragrance and sulfates. Their unscented baby wash typically contains water, disyl glucoside, a mild, plant-derived surfactant, vegetable glycerin, a small amount of natural oil such as sunflower or jojoba, and a gentle food-grade preservative system based on potassium sorbate and citric acid. That's the entire ingredient list, often fewer than 8 items, all spelled out in plain language next to their origin. Here's the test that proves it. Put 1 pump of the mainstream baby wash we talked about earlier into a glass of water, and 1 pump of this minimalist wash into another. You will see the mainstream formula create dense foam that clings to the glass, while the minimalist wash creates a light, quickly dispersing foam, a visible sign of less aggressive surfactants. Price per ounce. This brand usually costs a bit more. For example, around 25 to 30 cents per ounce compared to 15 to 20 cents for the big box baby wash, spread across 90 days of bathing a child. That difference is a few dollars, less than a single fast food lunch, for a product that sits on your child's skin every day. 7. A fragrance-free, dermatologist-friendly cleanser. The second Safe brand is a facial cleanser produced by an independent lab that focuses on barrier-supporting formulas. The company is privately owned, not part of a larger conglomerate, and it built trust by publishing full ingredient breakdowns and explaining each function on its website. The ingredient list is impressively short: water, cocoa glucoside, and lauryl glucoside, 2 plant-derived, low-irritant surfactants, glycerin, sodium PCA, and a mild preservative like sodium benzoate paired with potassium sorbate. No fragrance, no dyes, no pegs, no sulfates, and no formaldehyde-releasing preservatives. Do this test at home. Wash half your face with your current gentle cleanser and half with this alternative. 30 minutes later, compare redness and tightness in a mirror. The side washed with the truly minimalist formula should feel more like your natural skin, without the squeaky feeling that indicates lipid stripping. This cleanser often costs around 30 to 40 cents per ounce, versus 20 to 25 cents for the drugstore giant. Spread over 3 months of daily use, you're looking at roughly $8.50 of difference, again less than one lunch, for something that comes into contact with your face twice a day. 8. A real free and clear laundry detergent. The third safe brand is a laundry detergent that actually takes free and clear seriously. It's produced by a cooperative-style company that focuses on simple formulas and discloses every ingredient online, down to the individual enzymes. The ingredient list includes sodium carbonate, washing soda, plant-derived surfactants like alkyl polyglucosides, citric acid, and a small amount of non-optical brightener-free enzyme blend. No dyes, no fragrance, no optical brighteners, and no fabric softener additives. Here's the test that proves it. Wash a plain white cotton t-shirt with your current sensitive detergent and another with this brand, then place both under a black light. The conventional detergent shirt will often glow due to optical brighteners, while the truly free and clear shirt stays neutral, indicating fewer residue chemicals on the fabric. Price per ounce is slightly higher, say 18 to 22 cents compared to 15 to 18 cents for national brands. But because the dosing is often lower per load, your real cost difference over 3 months of laundry is a few dollars, less than a fast food run, for clothes that don't carry hidden brightener residues against sensitive skin. 9. A simple, unscented body wash. The fourth safe brand is a body wash made by a small company that also sells plain, unscented bar soaps and has stayed out of mass-market acquisition rounds. Their sensitive skin wash is closer to a liquid Castile soap than a modern cosmetic body wash. Ingredients typically include water, saponified oils such as olive and coconut, vegetable glycerin, and a simple salt solution to adjust thickness. No colorants, no synthetic fragrance, and no isothiazolinone class preservatives. Do this test at home. Pour your current gentle body wash into a clear glass next to this one. You'll see the mainstream product as cloudy and pearlescent, while the simple wash is closer to transparent, a visible sign of fewer aesthetic additives. Price per ounce might sit around 25 cents versus 20 cents, but because you typically use less per shower with a more concentrated Castile-style wash, the effective cost difference over a month is again in the single-digit dollar range, and this is a product that touches almost all of your skin every day. 10. A minimalist feminine care approach. The fifth safe brand is not a single commercial product. It's an approach backed by gynecologic guidelines. Most professional organizations, including the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, advise that warm water alone is sufficient for external intimate hygiene in the majority of cases. If a product is needed, they suggest mild, unscented cleansers without sulfates or fragrance, often the same minimalist body wash you use elsewhere, not a separate, heavily marketed feminine line. So the truly gentle option here is choosing brands that keep ingredients short, transparent, and unscented, and applying them sparingly rather than buying into specialized solutions for a problem largely created by marketing. Price per ounce here is almost irrelevant because in many cases you're saving money by not buying a separate category of products at all. You're trading a shelf full of scented, sensitive washes and wipes for one minimalist cleanser and water. A change that protects both your health and your wallet. That gentle label in your kitchen, bathroom, and laundry room has become more of a marketing tool than a safety standard. Your family deserves to know that the products they trust for sensitive skin are often owned by the same corporations making regular detergents, and that the formulas have quietly shifted over the last 2 decades, while the words gentle and sensitive stayed printed on the front. If you want more investigations like this into healthy snack brands, organic style sauces, and natural cleaning products, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown. In the comments, tell me, Which gentle or sensitive product in your home surprised you the most when you actually read the ingredients? Before I write your next script in this niche, would you rather focus on gentle food labels like light, heart healthy, and natural, or stay with personal care and household products for now?